Good evening to all of you. Welcome once again to our Shabbat service. This evening, as promised, we are going to do a healing service. And if you're watching me now, you certainly reached us by going onto our website. I hope that you've downloaded the service, and of course, feel free to follow along as we would if we were all together. So on page 1 of our prayer booklets, we begin. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mo'achem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On the bottom of page 1, we welcome Shabbat. Out of the glaring darkness of life's chaos, we must struggle for the words that will bring light, that nobler life may be.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Likne shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 2. We reach for you, our God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. Let us stop the wheels of every day to be aware of Shabbat. Find the stillness of the sanctuary which the soul cherishes. Renew the covenant of an ancient people. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own needs against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness from which we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with this strength, we will turn again to your service.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba Be'alma divrach yiduteh v'yamlich machuteh B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayede kol bet Yisrael Ba'agala u'v'izman kariv v'himeru amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lal me'amaya Yitzmarach v'yishtabach v'yitbaha v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei kudsha barichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushmekata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'himeru amen.
To be sure, we build different bridges to carry us on our way. Some bridges are wide, some are narrow, some are made of strong, hardy material, some are of delicate fabric that bends in every wind. Some are decorated with the finest, most precious, most beautiful jewels. Some are plain and simple. Some people sing on the journey, and some walk in silence. Some trek on with fortitude. Some take tentative steps. We have found that our stories, our myths, our parables, our deepest longings and most fervent yearnings, our highest dreams and our greatest aspirations are all the same. We have found, despite our surface differences in form and our real differences in substance, that there is much more that unites us than divides us. We are each and every one of us children of the universe. We are each and every one of us children of God. Let us rise now for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed.
Blessed are you, Adonai, every day, because every day is a lifetime mirroring all life itself. Thank you for the morning when I feel fresh and young and wake to all the beauty around me. Thank you for the afternoon when the sun is high, suspended in triumph above a workaday world. Thank you for the evening when the shadows cast a sheltering palm above the universe, permitting it to pause ready for the dark. Thank you for the night, with the ever-present stars to remind me that darkness is never absolute. Thank you for the calm that is restorative, not a mindless obliteration of reality. Thank you for the sleep that heals and strengthens and fills my heart with hope for new tomorrow.
Ahavat Olam Bet Yisrael Amecha Amcha Avta מצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיג בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love, embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מקודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם מכל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים ללכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Loving life and its mysterious source with all our heart and all our spirit, all our senses and strength, we take upon ourselves and into ourselves these promises: to care for the earth and those who live upon it, to pursue justice and peace, to love kindness and compassion. We will teach this to our children throughout the passages of the day, as we dwell in our homes and as we go on our journeys, from the time we rise until we fall asleep. And may our actions be faithful to our words, that our children's children may live to know. Truth and kindness have embraced, peace and justice have kissed, and are one. Let us affirm our faith in Torah, our people's legacy of learning and faith. There are no words more challenging than "you shall be holy," no command more basic than "you shall love." There is no insight so fundamental as in the beginning God created, no word so life-embracing as "you shall rest." No cry more compelling than "let my people go." No consolation more comforting than "I am with you in your distress." There is no vision more hopeful than "they shall beat their swords into plowshares," and no summons more demanding than "justice, justice shall you pursue." They are the words that have outlived monuments and empires. We want them to live through us until the end of time.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדד בקודש, נורתי לוט אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. מלכותך רעו בניך, בוקע ים לבני משה. מלכותך רעו בניך, בוקע ים לבני משה. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We come together on this Shabbat, each bringing to this sanctuary a private world of hopes, of fears, of dreams. Some of us are burdened by anxieties and cares that all but crush our faith in the future. Others have hearts filled with happiness, grateful for the joys of the past week, yet aware that even the most fortunate are vulnerable before the mystery of tomorrow. Every life is a unique blending of joy and sorrow, of fulfillment and frustration. Beneath our uniqueness, we are all bound together by our common humanity. All of us most deeply yearn for the blessings of freedom and peace. Each of us seeks the personal liberation of a mind that is not enslaved to conventional wisdom, a heart that is able to love without fear, a spirit that cries yes to the universe. Each of us strives, too, for the inner peace that comes with finding a harmony between what we want out of life and what we can have, between our aspirations and our abilities. This is the Shabbat peace to which we aspire.
Shabbat, Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Each generation has its path, each a vision of its own, yet each is linked to all. Their origin and goal are one. Our mothers and fathers kindled light to lead us to the day of shining hope, with mercy our companion along the way. Recalling new generations, we weave our lives into the tradition. Praise be the source of strength and courage, the source of kindness and good deeds. Praise be the source of gentleness and love, of softness and kind words. Praise be the man who transcends strength through gentleness. Praise be the woman who perfects gentle through strength. Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others. Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Honor to the generations of Israel, our people. All honor those who illuminate our paths. Let us rise now for the tefillah, page 8.
Adonai, sefata tiftach, ufi yagi tehillatech. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וחונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הקל אתה רוב להושיע מחכה חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ודופקי חולים ומטיל אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בר גבורות ומדומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום נהלוך הסלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know. There is holiness when we are kind to someone who cannot possibly be of service to us. There is holiness when we promote family harmony. There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us. There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe. There is holiness when we love, truly, honestly, unselfishly. There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer to a dark corner. There is holiness when we share our bread, our ideas, our enthusiasm. There is holiness when we gather to reach God through prayer. You may be seated.
Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Hamecha Shevach ruchacha aleinu v'techezena enenu b'shumecha l'tzion berachamim
cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end war, for we know that you have made the world so that all of us must find our own path to peace within ourselves and with our neighbors. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end starvation, for you have already given us the resources with which to feed the entire world if we would only use them widely. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to root out prejudice, for you have already given us eyes with which to see the good in all people if we would only use them rightly. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end despair, for you have already given us the power to clear away the slums and to give hope, if only we would use our power justly. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end disease, for you have already given us great minds with which to search out cures and healings, if we would only use them constructively. Therefore we pray to you instead, O God, for strength, determination, and willpower to do as well as to pray, to become as well as to wish, for your sake and for ours, speedily and soon, that our land may be safe and our lives may be blessed.
Shalom Rav on Israel Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav on Israel Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. V'tov peinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechod v'tuvchos shah bishlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Bring complete and lasting peace to Israel, your people, for you are the master of peace, who rules over all. Let it be good in your eyes to bless Israel, your people, every season, every hour, with your peace. Blessed are you, Eternal One. You bless your people Israel with peace.
We're now on page 11, and we'll be doing the top two sections. Makor Chaim, Fountain of Life. We turn to you when life has turned a deaf ear to our tears.
May we be open to hear your comforting voice.
At times of loss, when the darkness of life has left us blind,
May we see the eternal light of your presence.
when the difficulties we encounter have left us feeling groundless, with no sure path on which we may travel,
May we be guided by your firm and caring hand.
how often we have felt alone, needing the friendship of others, yet uncertain of where to go.
May we find the strength of your constant companionship.
Whenever one is confronted with an inescapable, unavoidable situation, whenever one has to face a fate which cannot be changed, such as an incurable disease, such as an incurable cancer. Just then, one is given a last chance to actualize the highest value, to fulfill the deepest meaning, the meaning of suffering. For what matters above all is the attitude we take towards suffering, the attitude in which we take our suffering upon ourselves.
Page 12. A king once owned a diamond of great value. He was proud of his gem and kept it close to himself, never allowing it to be displayed for fear of someone stealing it. One day, as he held it, it managed to slip out of his hand and crashed onto the beautiful mosaic floor of his secret bedroom, where he isolated this great jewel. To his horror, he saw a terrible blemish right in the middle of the diamond. A long, crooked line marred its center. The king lamented his disaster and consulted every diamond cutter and jewel expert, but they all told him the same thing. Even if they worked endlessly, they would never be able to remove the imperfection. One day, a jeweler from a distant land came, after having heard the story, and offered to work on the jewel for the king. "Why, I could make it even more beautiful than it was before the accident," said the diamond cutter. The jeweler worked earnestly. He made the imperfection the center of his carving. Out of the crooked line, he cut out the roots and stem of a rosebud. Then he produced a perfect rosebud at the tip of the stem. Everyone came to understand the meaning. Out of a blemish, out of imperfection, out of a wound, there can come delicate beauty. The worst thing can be changed into a virtue. At the bottom of the page, we ask for God to bring a complete renewal of body and spirit to all those who are in need. On page 13, our prayer for healing, Heal Us Now.
Rifahenu Adonai v'nerafeh, Hoshihenu v'nivasheha, El karov lechol kolav, ach karov lirehav yishmor. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole and unifana. Oh, please heal us now. Refuat hanefesh, urefuat haguf, refuat shlema. Heal us now. Heal us now. Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachalatecha, ulehem v'nasehem ad ha'olam. Misheberach avotenu משמרח ימותנו, אנא אדוני הושיענה. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every man. Heal us now. Refuat hanafesh, urefuat haguf, refuat shlema. Ena rifana. Oh, please heal us now. Refuat hanafesh, urefuat haguf, refuat shlema. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
Do not think that the words of prayer, as you say them, go up to God. It is not the words themselves that ascend. It is rather the burning desire of your heart that rises like smoke toward heaven. If your prayer consists only of words and letters and does not contain your heart's desire, how can it rise up to God? We pause now for a moment of silent prayer. Continue now on page 14 in the middle. Everything in the world, whatever is and whatever happens, is a test designed to give you freedom of choice. Choose wisely. You are wherever your thoughts are. Make sure your thoughts are where you want to be. Always look for the good in the other, focus on that good, highlight it, and turn even sinner into saint. Always look for the good in yourself, focus on that good, highlight it, and turn even depression into joy. We continue now on page 15 with the reading at the bottom of the page. After a while, you learn a subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. And you learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and that company doesn't always mean security. And you learn that kisses aren't contracts and presents aren't promises. And you begin to accept your defeats with your head up and your eyes straight ahead, with the grace of a woman or a man, not the grief of a child. And you learn to build all your roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while, you learn that even sunshine burns if you bask too much. So you plant your own garden, decorate your own soul, instead of waiting for someone to bring you flowers. And you learn that you really can endure, and that you really are strong, and that you really have worth. And you learn, with every goodbye, you learn. During our healing services, I always enjoy sharing inspirational and insightful stories. This story is by Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen and appears in her book, Kitchen Table Wisdom. She writes, "The house I own is a little A-frame cabin in the foothills of a mountain outside of San Francisco. When I bought it, it was so cramped and shabby that the first friend I brought to see it blurted out, 'Oh, Rachel, you bought this?' I started throwing things away the day after I moved in, and for the next few years, I threw away all sorts of things: light fixtures, toilets, staircases, doors. Eventually, I even took out some ceilings and a few of the walls. The house had belonged to a man who was proud of his ability to fix things. If there was a hole in the wall, he picked up the first available board and nailed it there. If his wife wanted a shelf or a door or a deck, he put one wherever she pointed. I threw all of these things away. Oddly, the more I threw away, the more I seemed to have. Over time, I rented 4 large Grange boxes and filled them with everything that did not belong. Gradually, the house became simpler, more empty, and the beautiful structural lines of its basic form began to emerge. It became a container for the light. In the end, all that was left was the wholeness. I painted it white." Who, just months ago, would have imagined social distancing and the wearing of masks? Who could have anticipated millions out of work and over 70,000 Americans dead from this destructive virus? How do we cope with the uncertainty brought to us by COVID-19? How do we feel like we are on firm footing when there is anxiety about our future, about our health, and the well-being of family and friends, when we are worried about the economy? We find peace of mind by cleaning out, by decluttering. We find solace by taking care of our bodies, by exercising, by eating properly, and by not continuously watching the news, which is enough to scare anybody to death. We remodel our minds and emotions to conform to our new reality, and we control our responses to circumstances, even if we cannot control the circumstances. What should we get rid of as we clean out our minds? We need to rid ourselves of the notion that social distancing is the same as physical distancing. We may have to be physically apart, but that does not prevent us from picking up the phone to speak with someone. Having meaningful communication does not necessarily require us to be face to face. We need to throw away the idea that masks are an inconvenience and that handshakes are necessary when meeting someone. We need to throw away the idea that we as human beings are above nature and not part of nature. We need to be able to adjust to the idea that a vaccine may well not be 100% effective, even if somehow it can be mass-produced and is available sooner than later. We need to throw away the idea that problems in other parts of the world will never become our problems. A moat no longer protects our castles, and the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans no longer protect our country. We need to throw away the idea that what we need to live is the same as what we want. We need to throw out the idea that resiliency cannot be learned and that coping skills cannot be honed. We need to throw out the idea that the plans we had for the future we anticipated are guaranteed. Many of us are spending these days cleaning out our closets, our basements, and our garages. Mental house cleaning right now can help bring us much needed light. By getting rid of ideas that depress us, stifle us, ideas that create a cognitive dissonance with the reality in which we now find ourselves. By disposing of negative and fatalistic thoughts, we slowly paint our world with a bright color and experience the wholeness that has eluded us too often in these past months. Shabbat Shalom. Stay well, stay safe, and stay the course. We continue now with our concluding prayers. The Elena is found on page 16. Will you please rise? You may be seated as we continue on page 17. We anticipate a day of whose coming we are certain, though its date and time we do not know. We anticipate a day on which questions will beget answers rather than doubt in the very worth of asking, a day on which memory will refuel hope rather than certify the cause for despair. We anticipate a day on which each will be fulfilled with his and her oneness and rejoice in the oneness of the other, a day on which each one will feel completed by the wholeness of the other. We anticipate a day when need will be the handmaiden of mutuality, the mutuality of friends, lovers, parents, and children, and even neighbors prone to enmity. We anticipate a day so improbable that only a remembered promise, however dimly remembered, would dare us to hope for its coming. A day that has not yet been, a day so filled with possibility that we cannot merely await it. We anticipate that day that beckons us as would a distant lover and makes us restless with its anticipation. We anticipate that day and know that its coming will be hastened only by the work of our minds, hearts, and hands. Indeed, it will come only because we anticipate it. And there are days when love is intense, when a child is born, when health and completeness are restored, when the balm of a spring day smooths away the last scaly flakes of winter kill, when we are reassured in some small measure that the day we anticipate, our anticipation day, will surely come. We anticipate that day with a yearning so intense that it transforms all our exertions into plans for hastening its arrival. All our restlessness, born of anticipation, makes silence unbearable. Me, my family, the Jewish people, and Torah, a tree of life, roots holding on to the past, branches reaching to the future, leaves dancing like children, growing and changing with the seasons, teaching peace, caring, sharing, tolerance, understanding, from parent to child, from generation to generation. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat worship, We think longingly and lovingly of Mary Lou Casey, Bernice Katz, and Anthony Parker, all taken from us during these past few weeks. We name two at this time, those whose yard sites, the anniversary of whose passing occurs, as on this Shabbat we recall Phyllis Akers, Abraham Boehm, Daniel Britz, Max Britz, Charlotte Kahn, Sarah Bell Davis, Roxine Fain, Virginia Lee Farber, Lillian W. Feinberg, Lily G. Galliard, June Gertz, Elsie F. Goldman, Irving E. Goldman, Eva Hatner, Michael Katz, Betty Jane Lau, Sophia H. Lempert, Ann Levine, Philip Levy, Phil Liebes, Harry Lowenthal, Jenny Snyder Miller, Ruth Myers, Donald M. Russell, Ethel N. Schwartz, Eva Schiff, Edward Sklar, Samuel Solomon, Gail Waldstein, and Eugene Wasserman. Let us rise now and sanctify the name of God with the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yeh shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almayah Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekud sha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, give comfort to all who are bereaved, here and everywhere, as together we say, Amen. We conclude our service this evening as we join together in singing our Tefillat Haderach prayer. May we all be blessed as we go on our way.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shabbat shalom to all of you. Have a good week.